Your mail.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently somebody needed my mail
John,
more
is
than I
that
did.
your mail or his mail?
Where?
In front of you.
Minutes.
Okay.
Okay. We're here. The Selectmen's meeting, I think. All right. It is just a little past 6:30. We started at 6 o'clock with a non-public with the police chief, and that leads us to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It was red, white, and blue. Yeah. Well, we're glad of
Allowable.
that. It is. What's in that?
You have one. Okay. This must be mine. Public comment. Good.
That's quick.
Department head committee items, a library update. Brenda.
And I don't know if you have the latest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that one?
Yep, you can have
Okay.
that one. Yep.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we've taken a licking, but we've kept on ticking. And,
Like to hear.
Could you just introduce yourself?
oh, I'm sorry, I'm
I
Brenda
think,
Cannon.
was there a note up there?
Oh, is there? Oh, Brenda Cannon. I'm with the library. I'm the chairman for the library
Library
trustees.
trustees.
Yeah, there we go.
I knew it'd come out sooner or
I'll have
later.
to see that note, because I don't.
Thelma is the interim director right now, and we have been updating a lot of the job descriptions and things like that. So we plan to actively, my plan is to get the documents to the job boards next Monday. As you see by this Warren article, we've changed it completely. Thelma and I talked, and the trustees and I met about this. We didn't feel it was appropriate to bring a new director on board and then tell them, oh, by the way, you have to have now Friday hours. So we've completely amended what was originally submitted to you guys. Now we're going to have, well, as you know, Mike was the only full-time employee of the library. With this Warren article, we would now at least, obviously the new director would be a full-time employee, but we'd also like to make another employee full-time. So this just puts money in the budget for that to happen, and it also puts an additional 40 hours a month for the new director to use as they see fit. So they can make, they can hire somebody, they can add hours to somebody, and that's why the numbers have drastically gone down from what you originally saw.
Okay.
And really, that's about it. We kind of want to really thank Naomi and Beth, because they've been tremendous help to us as we go through things. And especially Beth, because I'll be honest, we're having a little bit of trouble with our numbers. And so she's going to come over this week and help us kind of get things going better.
Back
And
up,
yeah, exactly. Okay. We honestly, we did not have that second back of we did not have a second pair of eyes looking at things like we should have, and some of the numbers don't make sense to us, but Beth is coming over this week to help us, and we hope to be on track with everything again.
Right.
Okay. But other than that, that's it right now.
Awesome. I appreciate
I
it.
do have one quick question. It's going to probably come up at some point. Are you doing anything different with the budget? I know in the
No.
proposed operating budget was a
A
increase.
huge increase.
Right.
And
'Cause I've been asked if that's going to be changed. That's why
I
I'm
would
asking
like
you.
to keep it in there because the salary is so low, it's going to be hard to attract what I consider really good talent. And if, obviously I'm not going to offer someone that kind of money, but if you start low and you've got a range to go with, you find much better candidates. I mean, right now, the top end is 52. And we're asking for someone with an MLS and at least 3 years experience, and that's a lot to ask for that kind of money. And yes, we did find Mike, but, Mike was that special person who wanted to come here and help us grow, and he really did that. Finding another person like that is going to be, it's just not going to happen,
Right.
at least not in my lifetime. At least my lifetime here in Ware, I'm going to say. But it really would help if we kept that money in the budget, and that way, if we need to go higher, we can. And right now, that budget, that number is only if it's not a default budget. If it's a default budget, we don't get that money, is my understanding.
Correct.
So, so it's still
Well,
kind
it's
of
been
like,
asked, so I
Yeah.
figured I was glad you answered
Yeah,
that. Thank
yeah.
you.
so that's it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So are you going out to look for somebody, or?
We're using according to the New Hampshire Library Association, there are 5 websites that we should be looking at to advertise, and we're going to start. We're going to go to the one Bob used last time when he found Mike, and a couple others, and see what kind of people we get from that. And if we have to branch out, we'll do that. But we're going to try to start local,
Okay.
And see what kind of talent we get.
When do you plan to do that?
Next week.
Next week?
Yeah,
okay.
because we've updated the job description, we've updated the job posting. I've talked to Naomi about benefits and salary and all of that, and so we're ready to post. I just have to get final okay from the group, and we're meeting on Thursday of this week.
Okay.
And we'll finalize everything and be ready to go on Monday.
Okay.
Perfect.
And just so you know, according to all the documents that I've read, and even from the New Hampshire Library Association, 15 weeks is fast getting someone, 24 is more
Yeah.
average.
Average.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a long search.
It's a process.
Yeah,
Definitely a long
exactly.
process. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. You're not on the schedule. Sorry. Chief Moore.
Let's talk about cruiser. Hang on.
Impromptu.
Well, just,
Kind of.
kind of. That's got my notes on the bottom, I'll help you. So, what I'm asking Chris to do, state your name for the,
Chief Moore, Ware Police Department, New Hampshire.
I gotta see what the sticker says.
that was from Karen.
There's only one Henniker,
Cause
there might be a couple Wares.
Because she does the
Ware minutes.
minutes and nobody introduces himself.
Oh, okay.
She's not
Perfect.
sure. So, back on the 16th, we talked about warrant articles. And the board decided at that point, which I'm gonna hope they're gonna rethink, because we'll talk about that, but to divide the 2 cruisers into one article. And then shortly after that, it was discovered that there's a lot of money left in the police department budget. So
From personnel,
so
We've been
Chief
running short.
Moore purchase ordered, which means set aside, the money for upfit and 2 radios for the 2 cruisers, which totaled $37,500 round figures. So he took that out, and so with that being out, there's approximately $287,000 left still to go back into the general fund. So the question you guys need to, or Chris, we need to solve is, do you want to purchase it out of 19s? Do you want to offset, this is my thought, in an effort of being transparent, is letting the 37.5, and we had this discussion upstairs before I came down, so this isn't new to him. Let the 37.5 go back into surplus, which would bring you to 324,000, and then from there, put the 2 articles together in one, and maybe offset from some of the unreserved fund balance towards the articles,
Like we've done in the past with the
like you
cruises.
did in the past before. I guess is there anything more, Chris, you want to talk about?
So that would reduce the warrant articles to just the vehicle cost. I'm looking up the vehicle cost, what's down here isn't the correct one. But they're roughly a little bit over 34,000 for just the vehicles. My radios will be going out, when I did talk to, so everything on the upfit is on state bid list. There's no 3 bids or anything like that. When I was talking to the guy who does the upfit, some of the radios we have are older than Jack, pretty much. Just saying. They, you like that one, huh? But they're so obsolete, we can't even get parts for them. They were bought on a state police grant like 2 cycles ago of obsoleteness. So not only were they obsolete, the ones they were replaced with are obsolete. And now the ones that replaced those are got about a year left before they're obsolete. So we're that far behind. I know 9 still got that current radio in it because I was just in there and I just happened to glance down and saw it was in there. But that's what we did. So put the upfit cost in warrant articles. I'm sorry, in purchase orders. Put the radios in separate purchase orders. And then the vehicles would be in the warrant articles. But roughly, I know in my budget, I was about $120,000 left over that we didn't spend in personnel funds. Just rough math.
The 287 is rough. We haven't closed books yet. We won't for another week.
But this is under the police department.
That's the $37,500 has been taken out, leaving you 287.
In the police
It's
budget.
purchase ordered out of 19.
So if we put it back into that,
If you unpurchase order, it's $324,500
Whole,
in the whole town budgets. Yes,
in the whole budget, not just
Not
his.
just- police
townwide.
budget.
Townwide.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was
but he's
asking.
got 100 in personnel. So
Yeah, 120.
120. Approximately.
I did rough math. So Sergeant Montplaisir's salary, who has been out all year on military duty, and then we had a vacancy all year, and then one position we didn't fill for halfway through the year. So I just did the base numbers, ran what that would be monthly in savings, and came up with right around 120. The state bid list lists the Tahoe PPB is 33,982, so that'd be times 2 currently. Don't know what will be for next year because, of course, we'll be buying them on next year's purchase list.
Let's say 34,000 for even numbers.
And you want to take them back out from separates and put them as a 1?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
No, we're going to keep it separate.
Keep them separate.
Boy, I tell you what, I think that's dangerous.
I do too.
Because I think, A, it's going to look deceiving
What,
Two.
two?
to have 2, because they're going to think we made a mistake or we were trying to do something fishy. I feel that I just think that,
It's got like we're trying to take.
I just think that I don't like how it, I mean, this is my personal, you guys gonna take more flack than me, but I'm just saying, I think if you separate it into 2, we're gonna be claimed that we're trying to confuse them by 2 articles, or is this a misprint, and I'm gonna vote no. I vote no the first time, and then, pardon the expression, but hell no the second time. I just think that it's really not gonna, and I totally look at it last year, when it got kicked down the road for a reason to me, that really wasn't a good reason, other than let the new chief decide. Well, we could have let the new chief decide this year, because let's look at what we got for a Tahoe. It just barely came in when the fire chief ordered one. So the argument of having let the new chief decide, we wouldn't get the car any sooner anyway.
Right.
And we all, I think, said that we could let the new chief decide. And we put it forth, and it was, again, followed by the finance committee that let the new chief decide, just like all of the police department articles, and I don't think that was right. So now, you're faced with buying 2, which we said, if it didn't pass, you're gonna look at buying 2. So we're buying 2.
I'll put them back together.
This is my personal opinion. He wants them separately. I just.
Oh, no, I don't
I
have
just
a
don't
preference.
see it being a good thing separate.
All right.
Okay, so if we put them back together and the voters say no, what happens to the PO'd money?
You won't get
Are you
any.
POing it, or are you
If-
gonna use it against it?
If we PO it,
You have a year to use it.
if the cars are voted down in March, then what? What happens to that money?
It leaves the money.
It comes out of 2019's budget.
Right.
So in 2020, if I close the PO because the warrant article failed, he'll have a, what?
$37,500.
$37,500 extra in his budget.
Right,
Which would pay for one.
Without an upfit.
but no means
Yeah,
no.
but nobody,
No
I
means
was
no.
just gonna say,
That's
you
what I'm saying.
can't do
No
it.
means no on the funds.
Right.
Can't buy one.
You can't buy one. So
But
it's
then,
entirely how you want to craft it.
But then, and I'm not trying to be, disrespectful, but then he has a $37,000 slush fund.
We don't like that word. That's kind of where I'm looking at.
But
we were looking
that's
at
the reality of it.
So if we take it out of PO, put it back into the general fund, into the
And
unfunded
then
fund balance.
offset
And
the
move it to a
article
revenue.
by that.
Oh, no, I'm not saying, my complete comment here is if the vote is no on the cars, what happens to the PO'd money?
Jesus.
Just stays
Yeah,
there
exactly, that's,
for a year.
yeah, it sits.
We can turn it over to a revenue possibly, so he can't use it.
Not saying I don't want you to
Yeah,
use it, but,
totally.
but.
Put it in that radio fund.
But again, to me, if the no means no, the cars are voted down, the 37,000 is PO'd, and he gets it, that is very vague, and I don't think that's transparent at all.
No.
At all.
Well, and him and I had this conversation. It's unspent, and you can turn it back in, but you people can offset a warrant article.
Right. I'm not totally disagreeing with the thought process. My thought is if it's a no at the polls for the cars, what occurs to the money? That's my thought.
Now you know.
Now I know. I just and that's just it. But
I don't agree with PO in it. I think it ought to go back and we'll use it as an offset. Then we're being transparent. with it.
Offset the purchase of the cars.
Yeah.
Put that in the warrant article.
that's the way I'd rather do it.
Okay, but then
We've done that
you're
before.
you still have to decide, is it one or two?
Articles.
Correct.
One article.
Because you can split your offset, you can put them together
I mean,
and
we,
make.
yeah,
Put them back together.
we can put them back
It's a
together. It's
better
fine.
way.
I mean, if that's what
I don't have a crystal ball, I'm just
that's what the
telling
board
you.
thinks.
I mean,
just-
we've done it with multiple vehicles before with the offset.
Yeah.
With the Dodge Chargers.
yeah.
So
We
you put
bought
them
more
in,
than one with offset with,
Yeah, I would rather use it as an offset rather than a PO.
and done that with the leftover.
so if it passes, he could use that
balance.
35.
37.5.
37
We'd
We'd
change.
read the
37.5,
artitle so
right?
that it would
And
be
we'll have
used.
to look at
Right.
writing the article, so it's,
Right.
Yeah.
but I think that's better, and it's,
And it's
I mean, I'd like to,
transparent.
I really,
More
we
transparent,
agreed
and the
into this
impact will be-
program a long time ago, and we had a hiccup last year because we had a change of staff.
Right.
And the reasoning behind not supporting the car, to me, I think was the wrong reason.
Right.
Oh, I don't
You
disagree.
don't think that was the-
there was
yeah.
fear that somebody was gonna go buy something, and we had even said we weren't going to. So, this year, and it was even spoke, if you vote down, next year you're gonna be faced with two.
yeah.
So here we are, faced with two,
Well, put them both
because of
together.
last
And the
year.
consensus was, then let the new chief decide on the
Yeah,
new cruiser.
and so that's fine. Put them together. I don't have any
Actually
problem.
turned out to be a good thing in a way, because you'd rather have the Tahoe than the Charger.
Right. So and
Health,
that's
safety,
fine.
welfare.
I mean, and by all means, I have no finger on the pulse here. I'm just thinking that transparency. We we didn't spend this amount of money, but out of his budget, we could offset the
price of the
cruiser that we
two.
should have bought last year almost, but
Yep.
it's cost to upfit two new ones, so the taxation amount is less.
And that's what we did when we bought.
The cruisers at the beginning.
Right. Was we
Right.
used the offsetting revenue.
Right.
Right.
And I
I'd
have
rather
no.
have it in the warrant article.
Right. I'd rather have it as that written rather than dealing with POs out in the back 40.
Yeah, have a
Right.
better chance of it passing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't
And
like
that
I
gives the
said, we've done
townspeople
it
the
with multiple
opportunity rather
vehicles
than just
a
us.
few years ago. We did it when we bought more than one.
To me, that's a lot cleaner as well.
Yeah,
It's out
So,
there,
yeah.
everyone can read
So-
it.
everybody reads it.
So
Not that I didn't like what you did, I'm just saying.
No, I followed it.
It-
So
it's-
yeah, I had 4 purchase orders, 2 for 2 radios, 2 for 2 upfits. All of those will just get combined to offset the cost of the total package. I'm with you.
Correct.
It'll
Yep.
get unPO'd or canceled.
Canceled.
It'll go back
Yeah.
in,
Right.
and then
Yep.
we'll just take it from there.
Yep.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. And
That's what
and
we're looking for anyway. So
if we put them back together, I have no problem with that.
I just think it's cleaner.
Yeah.
I just think
Yeah.
there's confusion out
Cleaner,
there
right.
for someone that doesn't, I mean, the mailer's nice, but deliberative session, you'll talk about it. We've talked about it here at the public hearing. I just think there would be a little bit of sense of confusion, claiming that we misprinted and did it twice, and I just
That's
think
fine.
it's a lot cleaner and upfront, because we told you
I
if
like
you
it
voted
this way
last year
better.
no,
Yeah.
You're gonna have to buy two. So
Yep.
that's kind of where I am.
Yep,
Are you all set with that?
yep.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Can you ask how old the replacement, the ones you're replacing?
So one has already been sent to auction because according to mechanics, it was no longer a viable option for a car. The second one, the oldest vehicle is my vehicle, which has 168,000 miles on it. However, mine is in better shape than car 9, which is what the lieutenant uses. I think that had 127. I was in it earlier today. But yeah, it would essentially be used to put the lieutenant's car down. One of the cars in patrol is going to go over to the ACO car, which is the animal control officer's car.
And the Crown Vic is a 2011, am I say right? Correct? 2010?
I believe so.
Somewhere in that neighborhood, yeah. 10 or 11,
Somewhere in there.
yeah. It's old.
10 years old, and,
Time to go.
okay.
I think you're all set.
Yay!
You didn't catch
What do you
that?
need?
Okay, well, the first warrant that came out was $97,200
$200.
for two cruisers.
Right.
And then we're gonna subtract 37 from that.
37.5 is what was PO'd.
All right, so we're looking at less than 60 for two.
All right,
That's-
but that did not include the cost of the radios.
Okay.
Because that was.
That's
Where
in
the
the other.
difference is.
Right.
Yes,
Okay, so the
because I
cost of
learned
the
the
radio
radios
was,
were way back.
97,000 minus 35 plus 10.
8.
What?
It's like 4,400 per radio, I think. If you've got the PO, it'd be on there.
it's 45, 22,
There you
45.
go.
So 9.
Yes.
So $9,000. So yeah. So you,
We're doing 97 minus 37.5 plus 9 for one warrant article.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Can I ask who the upfitting quoter is? OME?
Crazy.
Oh, it's on the purchase order. Anybody got the purchase order?
I only have yep.
Should have the vendor on there.
OME?
It's state contract though.
Ossipee Mountain.
Yes.
Like Ospey.
That's it.
Ospey Mountain. OME, yeah, Ospey Mountain Electronics.
Yep.
So 97.2 minus 37.5
That's who did the
plus
upfit on the
95.
Chargers, that's the only reason I asked.
Plus 9,
And I think they
right?
did a stellar job, so. Okay,
So 68,700 from taxation.
68,007?
68,700.
okay.
Which is 34 twice plus $700. Yeah. Well, you could even look at. We've already rattled enough numbers around. Okay.
Okay,
All right. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
thank you.
Okay.
Good to see you, Jack.
Finance Committee,
Thanks.
I just, Tom Clow, 125 Concord Stage Road, Ware, New Hampshire. I don't understand the figures here. What is the price of one vehicle fully equipped?
30.
40,
Just under 34, 33.9.
no,
Equipped.
equipped.
Fully equipped.
They're different.
They're different.
One's a cheap car and one's a...
Well, what's the total warrant article for two vehicles fully equipped?
68,007.
No, it's
No.
not fully
No.
equipped.
Can't be.
No, 90, what was the original?
97,200.
97,000.
97,200 plus 9,000.
That was
Oh,
fully
plus
equipped
nine.
driving, who was on?
106.2
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
minus
that wasn't fully
37.5
yeah.
106.2.
is 68.7.
68,7.
106.2.
106.2 for two fully equipped.
But that's
Wow.
also using computers we
But
currently
if they're
have.
34,000 apiece for the cars alone,
It's 68.
68,000.
so 68 is just for the cars, not the fully equipped.
Correct.
But there's 37,500 there.
So let's, the 37.5 was the total upfit. Okay?
37.5,
But follow me for 1 second.
okay.
So CIP has $97,200. What's not included in that is the $9,000 for radios. So you add 9,000 to 97.2, you get 106.2. So that's the cost of two cars.
Yeah, I'm not representing the finance committee when I say this, because I can't do that. But the cleaner that it's made, the more chance it has of being fully understood and has a better chance of passing.
So it's
if-
$53,100 a car, fully equipped,
Okay.
if that's easier.
Turnkey on the street.
But you've got kind of three things floating here, and I've paid attention, really. But
No, you're
you've-
right.
You've got,
You're right.
you've got the two cars, and I understand the board has decided to put the two cars in one warrant article. And then you have an upfront expense to take out of the 2019 budget. Have you decided to do that?
That's what we just said.
And would that be to outfit the cars in advance and buy radios for 9,000? Is that what that is? Or-
The 37.5 covers the radios and the upfit.
What's the plus
but were you-
9,000 for?
No, 37
That was the radios.
Right, so the 37.5.
plus 9.
Oh, plus
So when
9.
you went to CIP for 97.2, we didn't talk about radios.
Right,
Let's try it again.
right.
Yeah.
So 97.2 was the number that passed through CIP and every other place.
Yep.
But
Because
it
my
did-
plan was to roll them into new vehicles, but when I told him what I had, he said no.
So the new radio, the old radios that are Jack's age won't go into the car.
Glad I'm not still sitting there, that'd be
So,
transistor.
I'm just kidding. So when it went through CIP, his anticipation was to take the two radios and put them in the Tahoes. Can't happen. So now that 97.2 adds $9,000 more to it for both cars. So now you're at 106.2
Two.
for two cars, or 53.1 for one car.
It isn't, is it 53-1, or is it his different than,
Doesn't the $37,500 include the $900?
No.
Or $9,000?
I thought it did.
What
I
I'm-
thought it,
what
I
I'm-
thought it did, that's
No.
why I asked you the
One
question.
upfit is 17,000, one upfit's 11, because mine doesn't have the full upfit.
What I'm saying
That
is,
doesn't equal 37.5 though. You need to
Well,
know.
and change. 1711.
The
She's right.
37.5
She's right.
includes
Oh, yeah,
two
that's-
outfits and two radios.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't need to,
don't need the
11
damn
and 17,
So,
then plus 9.
let me ask a
Wow.
question of the chief. What are you leaving off from the second Tahoe for your vehicle?
So mine won't be marked.
Correct?
It's unmarked, that's about $1,700. Let me get up there.
Yes, please.
Mine's unmarked because it's a take-home. Of course, I'll be living in Henniker, so I respond to critical incidents. Mine won't have the prisoner seat partition. Mine won't have a computer in it. Mine won't have the radar in it. So the radar is about $2,200. The computer I didn't have in these costs anyway, because we're just rolling them from car to car. They're still, we don't replace those till they break, as verified by like 8 people. The back seat partition,
You don't have,
yeah, I don't really need it. I can hold somebody there if I need to.
what's the cost of that?
And then a couple thousand
Yeah.
between the separation
The screen.
between the screen and then the actual seat. So I didn't need that. And then the radar. Well, I already said the radar. And
But the radar will transfer out of something else.
I won't have. I can use a handheld.
Right, but a radar will transfer out of something else when the time comes.
Well, you get another radar.
That they'll stay in patrol vehicles.
Right, but when.
Yeah, if it's still working, we're going to put it in a.
so does it,
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we have 5 radars. They're going to stay in patrol cars until they break, and then we'll get a new one. We don't. I haven't looked at their life cycle yet, but everything. By the time I get around next time, I'll know the life cycle on everything. I'm just starting to get in there.
And just to refresh memories at home,
So then this was a radio.
what is your plan for 2021 with vehicles? 2 or 1?
1. So I have 8 vehicles. It shouldn't be unreasonable for 1 vehicle a year. That's the plan, just 1 vehicle a year. This catches me up since they didn't do 1 last year, and I should be good.
Right. And how long do you plan on running the Tahoe that you are getting?
Okay, because there's one article.
Probably 5 to 6 year range where we'll roll down to the lieutenant's vehicle, and now we get another one.
Okay,
It'd be in a life cycle.
okay.
Every Tahoe rolls 5 to 6 years,
Right.
and one we get rolled down
So
to
in,
an admin vehicle, and another one.
so in theory, your Tahoe would never ever need a petition in it because it would get rolled to lieutenants.
Need a what? A petition? Correct. Yes.
Okay, all right, because I'm thinking if that was ever to go back into the front line, we have to buy that. I'd rather buy it now than,
Well, it could go. It's set up, and I've asked this question from OSP Mountain.
Yeah.
How easy is it? It's simple. So obviously, we want to keep the mileage kind of same.
Yep.
I'm only going about 5 to 6 miles between home and work. So if my mileage is low after that 5 or 6 years, we can roll it in the fleet
Yeah.
to make it equal with the other vehicles. And the lieutenant can just take one that was in patrol for his that had lower mileage. You know, that's something we'll figure out down the road.
Okay.
So we maintain a good
Right.
life cycle on them all.
All right. So new numbers are as
So
follows.
so as you saw it originally, which is why it's 97,200, okay?
Yeah,
Then you add 9,000 for the radio.
yeah.
It gives you 106,2,
6,2.
and the upfit, the two numbers was 28,5.
Okay.
So it's 77,7 is the number, which is correct if you took the 34 each and then add the
Okay, so
$9,000.
instead of 37.5, it's now 28.5.
Right, because you had 9,000 in radios
Right.
in there.
Yeah, because I, that's what I was
So
questioning.
it's 77,7 will be the article raised by
77.
taxation.
Okay,
Does that help?
yep, helps me.
No, I'm not trying to be difficult, it's just
No,
that
no, I'm glad
I'm
you're
one
asking.
person here, you can imagine
Glad
the
you're asking.
questions when you're talking to
Yep.
13 people on the committee, so we want to
Right.
be sure that it's clear so that everybody there on the committee understands it in order to vote sensibly.
Yeah.
So the 77,700 is for the two vehicles.
Right. From
Equipping those vehicles, as well as the radios, are going to come out of the present budget,
2019 budget.
2019 budget.
As offsetting.
Okay, so that's pretty
Offsetting.
clear. Now, is the board going to ask for half of that 77,700 to come out of the unreserved fund balance to offset the cost? That was tossed around here, I just want to be clear on that.
I don't believe that was the intention.
Well, we could look at it.
We could look at it,
Yeah,
but
we've done that in the past, that's what I.
we have done that
brought
in the past, right? But
I don't,
If you've still,
yeah, we have to bring that fund balance back up again. I don't know how it reflects to get closer to the 5% that we
Right.
should really
should
be
have
sitting
5%
at.
in there.
right, that's kind of where I was headed. I kind of want to put as much as we could back in that
Yeah.
balance because we are below the 5.
That half amount would still be, just, this is more an opinion than anything else, so, would be part of the money that, so to speak, the police department's returning to you anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, exactly. No,
Right,
yeah,
So-
right.
yeah.
Just something to think about. But, okay, I got it. So anyways, all the radios and the setup paid for out of the 2019 budget. Okay.
Yep.
Total warrant articles 77,700 for the two vehicles. All right. And then the decision is still to be made whether any of that will come out of the fund
The
balance.
77, correct.
I got it.
So where does, okay, now I'm lost. Where does
Yeah.
77 come
Yeah,
from?
yeah, that's exactly where, that's exactly.
What Tom said was really not, you guys aren't taking it out of the 2019 budget. You're just offsetting from the surplus, correct?
Right.
Yes.
You're not POing it.
No,
not-
We're not
we're going to use it.
PO it, we're gonna
Yeah,
take it.
yeah.
We're not POing it?
No,
Oh,
So you're gonna have a separate warrant article that says you're gonna outfit
So
the.
we're not off-
where-
So
where
you're
you
gonna
gonna-
raise and appropriate $106,200
Right.
Okay,
for purchase of two cruisers, of which $28,500 will come from the unreserved or undesignated fund balance, raising $77,700 by taxation.
And then the radios, you forgot the radios.
No, it's in there.
It's already in there.
it's already.
It's already in.
It's already in there.
So unreserved
We missed
balance
the
is where
numbers.
it's coming from, right?
okay,
Does that make sense?
makes sense, but I still think it's, in my opinion, it would be cleaner to say
Because your radios are already in.
half of this comes from the fund balance, the other
Okay.
half goes to
Yeah.
the rate station. That's just my opinion,
they're-
that's not the
they're-
finance committee
Right.
talking.
Well,
But I do
they're
understand what you're
un-POing
doing.
all
Okay.
four.
Well, that's good. We're all on the understanding now.
Do that there.
Right.
And now you're at 68.7.
Oh, my God. Okay, what is your thought now?
So I put the radios and the upfit on purchase orders. If we, what'd you call it, when we offset? So essentially you're offsetting the 28.5 and then the 9, which is 37.5 from the total cost, which means it's only like 68.8 rather than 77 something.
Holy shit.
What?
I got 68.8.
Yeah, I got 68.8.
I get 68.7.
The cost for the radios, which I put in a purchase order, I also just counted y'all offsetting, just like the upfit cost.
Right.
Because it was in my leftover from my
Well,
2019
that's what I
budget.
thought we were talking about all along, was
Yeah,
was
no.
upfit and radios were
Upfit-
together.
Yeah, upfit radios are about 35.5.
37.5.
37.5. That's what I have written down.
So meaning the vehicle cost by themselves.
68.7.
Or
Yeah,
68.7.
68.7.
That's what I wrote down.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Not the 77.
All right.
So we're not at 77.7 anymore. What are we at?
We're at 68.7. All right. Let's all have a coffee now. Okay,
We
good.
need something. I don't know about coffee.
Okay. Now, we're gonna off the. All right. I think we're all on the same page with that now.
Long time getting there, but
Yep.
I don't know if we're all on the
One more question for our finance department. Yeah, her brain's cooked for the night.
yeah.
Yeah, too many numbers being crunched. If we remove said 37.5 from the undesignated, and the rest goes in that fund, where is that going to put us at retention?
Oh, I don't know if she can answer that
I
tonight.
haven't closed the year.
We haven't closed the year yet.
I thought you were better than that.
No, we haven't closed the year yet.
She has till the 10th.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't closed yet.
Okay.
That's why I said it's a rough estimate right now. that
Right.
There's 287 plus,
Yep.
Right. Yeah. I'd like to get that back up to 5%, like you said. Yeah, it's going to take a while, but I mean that's a pretty
Yeah,
good.
but we really, yeah,
It's a good chunk of money to put in there, but
yeah.
so I'd rather not use much of it. I'd rather get that back up. That's my own 2 cents on that.
is that your staff?
I don't have any problem with doing the 37.5.
Right.
Again, I know the chief had, because of payroll, about 120-ish, but, so I really don't have a problem with that, but I'd
Yeah.
rather put the biggest sum that we can back into that balance. As one member talking.
2.
3.
All right.
So you don't want to hear my pitch for the next one, son?
Oh, gosh. She's got some.
Payroll, he's not using it, it's already-
Let him go back in.
You don't want my pitch for the next group of articles then?
What's the next group of articles?
You were gonna spend that.
So, radio communications, we won't even touch on.
Raise my taxation.
So government buildings and maintenance projects, when we already did the town hall one at 34. So when you look at the other one that we talked about for replacing air conditioning units, converting to propane and adding money for unforeseen repairs. So the, 33,000 was the propane quote. Hold on to your socks for a second, because they're replacing the AC, because a lot of the units were undersized, and going with the heat pump for everything was 65,481. Then you're down by about $10,000 to where that just brings you back to 60 in your government building. So I haven't totaled that up yet. But my thought was, at the conclusion of the auction, we're gonna put 177,138.37 into the undesignated balance as well. I was thinking we could use some of it to that, putting it back into your government buildings,
Government buildings.
which is gonna be out of surplus as well.
What was the, all right,
I took 'em.
how old is the boiler downstairs?
12 years, 13 years now? We made a 13th year?
It's not that old.
Not that
It's not as old
old.
as I thought it was. It's the tank that we're concerned of, right? The major concern was the tank, of the whole
We
system,
get the whistle on,
right,
Yeah,
right,
so
we get the
we're
whistle on.
pretty much set now with
So we
that.
should be okay.
Yeah,
right.
Leave that alone.
say
for a few
eliminate
Yeah,
that.
maybe we leave that off, maybe we table that for another year. If we're somewhat in compliance, everybody's running good down there,
Yeah.
maybe we'll leave well enough alone.
The other thing with, if, we know we're on borrowed time for these.
Oh, yeah,
Maureen's is already, we gotta do something anyway. They run about 60, depending how big. They run between 64 and 69 apiece. Some of them have 2 zones, some have 3. Some have one, but this one's undersized, as we all know, sitting here at a meeting. There's a couple of them that are undersized. We had someone come out and look at them all and figured out where they all went. So you're still looking at 65.5 here, but then 10 more to bring you to 60. But how much more did you want to put in for unforeseen? I'm getting a
I'm
price to paint the upstairs. He was supposed to come Friday and didn't, and then was supposed to come today and didn't.
Is
so
that Tim?
He's supposed to come this week. I know that's saying one thing we talked about, so,
You're also looking at what repairs here is the downstairs, that pipe that's got a bend in it.
well, if we stop using paper
you
towel,
Maybe we'll be good.
it would be fine maybe. I mean, we haven't yet.
Maybe
Been
we should
able
put a
to-
camera in down there just to
No,
see
you
who's.
can't, no. Oh,
You had to purchase another air dryer.
look
Yeah.
at, that'll be on the front page of the
We
mess.
can purchase another
Yeah,
air.
you put that on.
That I'm good with. Yeah.
Okay, I can
They
do
ripped
that.
the hairdryer-
I can purchase order it, because.
They ripped the hand dryer off the
I think
wall?
it's
Yeah,
worth
done.
No,
doing
no, I
that.
didn't put one in the men's room.
Oh,
They only put it in the other two. I
Then
only
do
bought
it.
two.
Do it.
Okay.
I guess you gotta do it.
yeah.
So,
There's the paper towels.
I'm thinking probably, I mean, this is my number, but shoot me down if you don't think so, but I'm thinking 15,000 on top of the 10. The 10 will put us back at what, 60 or 70?
60.
60, and then 15 on top of that.
60,800.
Only 75.
I'm thinking that 15, I mean, I can't see the roof repair and painting of the rooms
Very much money.
being a lot of money. I mean, obviously it's gonna cost something, but, and then that would give us a little bit on other things that may occur, more
So
more
between
rotos.
that and the price we were given for the AC units with heat, now keep in mind, we'll still use the oil as backup.
Right,
It would just be on the colder days.
right. I think you'll reduce the oil line.
Right, you reduce the
Right.
oil.
I mean, not,
You're still gonna have to.
No-
keep
Yeah,
some-
but you're
No,
gonna
no.
increase the electricity line,
You're gonna
so
increase
Yeah.
the
It's
electricity.
vicious, it's
yeah,
vicious.
noticeably reduce the fuel line, unknown how much, but.
visibly increase the electric line.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. That's always gonna go up.
But they're supposed to be high efficiency, so.
Right, yeah.
But I
mean,
think
always
if you,
could put
but if you
solar on
also
it.
are fitting them for the size of the room, which they're not.
Right.
There's several of them. This one here, you couldn't run during a meeting because you put 20 people in here and you couldn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
It never it just heated back
Right.
up.
So, I mean, I'm good with.
So with your 15 and the 65.5, you're at 80,500.
I'm good with that.
In that account.
To place in
To
to place in the capital
Right,
reserve
so
fund.
then we're not gonna convert.
Government buildings and maintenance, you're talking?
Yeah, the government building maintenance fund.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the purpose of replacing air conditioning units and adding additional funds for unforeseen repairs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So 80,500.
Yep.
Now, again, it's just a thought. You're gonna take in 177, 138. Do you take some of the edge off, or do you not? Just a thought.
Well, I mean that
I don't know.
is that
I don't
177 isn't in the two.
No,
Okay.
the 177 for the auction's not in that too.
No, it's on the
That's
revenue side.
unanticipated
It's on the
revenue.
revenue side.
So your revenues will be reduced by 157.
Well, we're not taking it all.
No, we just talked about 80,500, but I just
Be
asked
like
if they wanted to take the edge off.
15,000.
I mean, I guess I'd be. I mean, I would. That particular one is kind of unanticipated. I mean, we don't know what we're going to get, and next year we probably won't get anything.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should, one shot deal it, but I'm thinking that yeah, it may soften the blow if we take a little bit of it.
30,500.
How much?
30,500.
That was kind of the
To
number
make
I
it easy.
thought. No, it was a number. That was a number I thought when she started talking about this.
And then 50,000 taxation.
Right. I think that'd be a little more pliable.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts. I don't know. I'm only
Right
one
there
member
with you.
again. So, okay.
So, the only other question I have, I don't know what you want to do with radio.
To my left. Are they okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
With radio communications?
Well, you looked at a warrant article, I think we ought to start a
Well, I sent you this, right?
capital reserve.
Did I send you, I got, Mission Critical Partners and SSC Consulting, which is, New Hampshire used Mission Critical, thank you, Beth, which is located in Pennsylvania, and Maine used SSC Consulting
What's this?
Oh, yeah, I get something.
for the communication fund, but I don't have any number to start with.
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
So Art Durrett from DOS sent me 2 people to contact for a radio assessment and cellular assessment.
Oh,
And said New Hampshire used Mission Critical Partners out of PA,
okay.
and Maine used SSC, I don't know where they're from, Consulting, to do a radio assessment and cellular assessment.
Okay.
I could reach out to them, but what RFP do I give them? That's the only thing I'm like above my head with the communication part.
Well, I don't even know if I mean, we know what they're doing, right?
Goffstown's gonna revamp, right?
We don't know what they're gonna do.
I don't know, we won't know
No,
until.
no. We know what they do.
Oh, we know what
for
they
work.
do, yeah.
Right.
Yes, so we can, yeah.
So basically, I would craft the RFP to what they do.
Just a simple radio and cellular assessment for
Yep.
where?
I wouldn't even go cellular. I just go radio. But how? Let me ask you this: how do your MDTs work? Is that via cell phone service?
Yes.
So then we should do the cell as well.
Yeah.
Because
So I could reach out to both of them,
Yeah,
probably gonna be per hour, right?
and I would say, you know, we've
By
got
the job.
we've got 64 square miles. You know, how much roughly do you think it would be to do a study?
And hopefully
Probably have to
get it
give them the
back
number of cell
down to the
towers.
budget.
Yeah, cell towers, and I mean, yeah, but
Well, they can do that in their assessment. for
yeah,
that.
they can do that in their assessment too. And I mean,
Is
that might be
it-
something. But just to front load it, may say, yeah, hey, by the way, we have like 4 cell towers in town, and
Is that what we have for?
I think is it 3 or 4?
Probably at 6.
Okay,
Well,
perfect.
It's more than.
They
I
should,
thought it was
if they're
more than 4.
if they're cellular towers, they'll know because
Yeah, they can
they're-
ping 'em up.
They're plotted by the FCC, so they
Right.
can, and
They
they
can-
have to
they can
be.
ring 'em up.
So I'll do my best, but at the same time, I don't know that I'll have an answer for next Monday, which is
Right.
when we gotta finalize things.
Did we put those 2 radios in at 100 yet?
No,
No.
no, because there's no real, I don't think there's nobody's proved to me that that's really the answer. I think that's what I got out of that, right? Yeah, no one's proved that those 2 things are a problem. They went down and now Goffstown's gonna revamp their whole system, which I think we talked about.
So maybe.
So
Better
I
wait.
don't know, and they invited, or they will be inviting us just to listen to see what they're gonna do, but I think they're looking at, I don't wanna quote, but millions of bucks. They're looking at $1 million or more to upgrade their system. And I think, we had this conversation, whether it was sitting at my desk or not, that, I don't know how much they're gonna expect us to pay of that.
Right. Oh, I'm sure that. Yeah. At that point, I mean, at that point,
But it
they're probably
doesn't
going
do
to
any
jack the
harm to
rates.
listen.
Right.
I don't know if we establish a town-wide, I mean, I threw police on here just because it was existing, but we could create a communication fund for where. Right now, I think you have a little bit in highway, a little bit in police, and a little bit in fire,
Right.
because we were dividing everything now.
Right. But I mean, and like you said,
Yeah.
with that variable as what's Goffstown's doing, if they jack their, I mean, we're already up to what?
Well, you know they're
We
gonna
have
jack
2
their
more
rates.
years
It's
in
not
Right.
a
this
if.
contract.
Right, but it's individual base. It's police and fire, correct? And police is what, 30-ish?
40, I think you're up to, is it 40,000?
And fire is what, 30-ish, 28-ish, something like that?
Fire. Dispatch. Must be way-
for radio or for dispatch?
Dispatch.
Dispatch.
So fire dispatch is 20,
40.
yeah, 22,680
That's for the fire?
for the fire. Police is 47,880.
I mean, depending on how much,
Highway.
they don't
Highway doesn't have
have,
one.
they don't dispatch there.
They don't dispatch.
They don't have radio maintenance. So I'm just thinking that if they do a revamp like they plan on doing, and they jack that fire rate up to almost 60 grand, I guarantee the Board of Fire Wardens are gonna wanna go to capital area.
That
And
wouldn't-
then, and then that would eliminate that whole department from the radio system because capital area covers their own.
Right.
So at that point, then it leaves him hanging high and dry in DPW. But again, like you said, what's the number that we need to put aside to make, you know, I don't know, I'd hate to put say $100,000 into an account unknowingly what to
Right,
do with
and I
it.
didn't know if, you know, you start somewhere in case there is some more tweaking to the system, and all of a sudden, you know, is 20 the answer to start the account, 20,000? You know what I mean? And then you could do a little bit of work.
Yeah, because if not, and all of a sudden we get caught flat-footed with the fact that,
zero money.
with zero money, and it's gonna cost the town to upgrade the radio system just on our end, say, 250,000, just for a number. I mean, if we don't have any money in there to start putting away
Yeah.
in a capital reserve fund,
And I don't know if 20 is the answer, I'm just thinking 20 wouldn't leave you off guard.
Well, I mean, even if we had to put a voter, or another repeater up, or we had to put simulcast up, it's gotta be a minimum of $50,000.
yeah, so I
So,
mean,
I think myself, be a
50,000?
$50,000 be a safe number to put on that one article.
To establish a communication fund.
Yes, for,
And I don't really want to be looking at one department or another.
No.
capital reserve fund, yeah.
but make it clear that it's gonna cover PD, fire, and highway.
Gotta
Just
cover-
emergency services,
Emergency services.
right?
yeah.
That covers all three.
And that's fine, because I'm just thinking, I'm thinking Stark has a radio system, so isn't the bus company.
Well,
And I just want them, I don't,
Town's emergency services,
yes.
But the,
I would label it that and be fine, I think, yeah. I think that'd be fine.
the town's emergency
Emergency services.
services, radio communication
I
system.
mean, the bus and
The buses,
the
they're
Stark
on
is
their own.
not a, it's,
Yeah,
Right, but I just don't
and-
want it to get
and we can
misconstrued,
reach out
that's
to
all.
these guys, I mean,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a while for Pennsylvania to get back to me.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Maybe.
And, you know,
I
I
mean,
think,
you might be
I think
surprised.
it leaves us, flat-footed is the word, it doesn't leave us high and dry.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
I just think it's something, because you're right, we may find out in February, March, or April that we can make a small tweak and make everybody
Yeah,
happy.
we can put something on one cell tower and it'll improve
Right.
40%.
And if you
Right.
don't have that money, it's like,
Right.
well, you have to do it.
yeah,
with
yeah.
us.
With the language crafting of that, who would be the agents to expend? Us or the
If it's a
town?
capital reserve fund, it's you guys.
Okay, okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
That's fine, I just wanted to clarify that, that's all.
So I've talked my way through, I think, everything.
Okay, good.
Other than I do have one more expend I'd like to spend out of 19.
Oh, sorry. We're out of money.
Oh, I gave you some money, come on. I didn't spend it all. So we've all talked about the front door, right?
That thing again.
Oh, stop. I'm not gonna run up and downstairs to let you in every time. No, I'm just kidding. So, I'm gonna go back to I got 2 quotes and 2 begs through my
Two what?
text messages that
Oh, wow.
didn't get a quote, okay? These are my text messages to them with pictures and a reply back that he get back to me. I've reached out again today, Thursday afternoon, and said, I just need something. Still
Yeah.
nothing.
Okay.
Spoke on the phone. He said, please send photos. So you see, we've contacted each other. It didn't come back with anything.
Oh, okay.
So that leaves me 2. So 2 is Goffstown Lock and Key and Access Lock and Safe, who's the original gentleman who did the door. So both of them are going, front door and back door will be done by fob system. One wants to do wireless with a router. One was gonna be hardwired to the server room. Still able, I could have access to it through my computer, still be able to disable if somebody leaves. So, to have both doors done, apples to apples, one is $4,290.
And that was hardwired?
Access is hardwired, 50 key fobs. If the key things don't work, there's still 10 keys. All done, new closer on the back to make it work. Obviously, new closer on the front. So that was $4,290 through Access Lock and Safe. The other one was $5,780 for the same work.
For hardwired.
Nope.
Oh,
the
That was for the
hardwired.
wire, that was for
This one
wireless.
was had a wireless router, a gateway system, the panic bars, the whole thing.
And that was how much again?
5780. That was for 50 fobs, 10 keys, and installation. 4290 versus 5780.
Right.
And I have 4 days left on 19, can I take it out of 19s? That's what I'm asking. Can I purchase order 4290?
You haven't closed the books yet.
No.
No, we
still got to the
haven't.
10th.
You have till the 10th.
But it needs to be done. We've talked about it, and we've talked about it and talked about it, and I've got 2 quotes. I tried for a third. I actually tried one guy who led me to this guy because he didn't want to be involved in the fob system.
What's the board want to do?
I prefer the hardwired system for the simple fact is the
I like-
wireless, if there's something that interferes with it, you're stuck. Or if it goes down because it doesn't get a good signal between wherever the router is and, so I'd go with the hardwired system, that's my personal feeling, and
Okay.
something's gotta get done.
Do we have references on this guy?
He's done all our work. I think he did work for you. Access, lock, and safe, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure, I mean, the building has a little bit of antiqueness to it. I just don't want, if they're going to hardwire, I want to make sure that it looks okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he looked at to where he has to go with the server room. And you can come through the front door and you can go downstairs.
Yeah,
And
it'll
run
be all
along,
right.
and you can run along the, what are those ceilings?
The floor
Drop
goes-
ceiling.
Right,
Drop
and then
ceilings.
get into the server room.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's clean. It's a clean install, that's all. Because I don't like seeing them myself.
You don't want to see a big sag in it?
What, wire mold?
Wire mold and stick-on wire mold and all that stuff, I think that looks hideous.
Yeah, no, I think, we talked about
Depends
going
on
up
who's
through the
doing it.
roof
Okay,
things
that's fine.
downstairs.
As long as it looks, it's a
Because right
clean
by the
install.
door, you can go down through and run along.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion. If there is one.
Make a motion that we have the door lock repair done by Access Lock and Safe to replace the lock in the front door and then the rear door with hardwired to the server room with key fobs and 10 keys for a total price of $4,290.
I'm gonna
Second.
take it out of 19.
And it'll be taken out of the 2019 budget.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'm going to abstain.
Okay. All right, that's all I have,
Sure?
till we get to my report.
Oh, jinx.
God.
Come on.
Come on, I
Okay,
haven't
We're out of
had
money.
supper yet.
let's go.
We're out of money.
Neither have I.
Me neither, so
I gotta
got you
get
on that
back
one.
up at 4 in the morning.
I
so
didn't have
let's
lunch
go.
either.
I did have lunch.
I didn't. All right.
Okay, so we'll go to meeting minutes.
Good night, Tom.
Good night, Tom.
Good night, Tom.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Tom.
You're all set. Thank you.
Good night. Happy New Year. We already started it 6 days ago.
Nice to have you back.
It was 70 down there.
Beautiful.
Too hot.
70 and humid, right?
He sent me
Not there.
pictures.
That's the mountains.
Which ones you gonna do first?
Page 1125, sorry.
Good night, Chris.
Night, Chris.
Anything on page 1? No? Page 2.
Page 2, the second paragraph. Second line down, Director Knapp stated.
Anything else on 2? 3? Nope.
2020 DPW budget presentation, second line up. Starts with hiring, should be hauling.
Where are you?
We're hiring the trash
Where are
trailer.
you? Page 4?
3
Page 3.
Second line up.
for the 2020. It's high on the outside left edge, second from the bottom.
Yeah.
Hauling.
Yeah. The paragraph starting with Director Knapp, the second one up from the
Yep.
bottom. Oh, okay.
From the bottom.
Stated he would
Okay.
not be
Director
opposed.
Knapp. I think it's supposed to only increase if the raise is approved at town meeting, or am I
No, it was
mis-
only increased by the raise that was approved.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know
Because it was a
what it was
small-
trying to
Yeah, 'cause
say.
he has a salary in the water line,
Okay, increased
so it would be
by,
by the raise approved.
and increased, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else on 3? 4? Anything on 4? Anything on 5? 6? Last page? I'll move to accept the 11:25:19 minutes as amended.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Moving on to December 2nd.
Just I did 'em.
I didn't have anything on the first
December
page.
2nd.
Anything on page 1?
Nope.
Page 2?
I had nothing.
Under the first paragraph,
On 2?
yeah, the second line down, just put an "and" in between collected
And collected, oh, and.
and the board needs to
Balance
decide.
have been collected.
And the board needs to decide.
Yeah.
Now, do we want to take another look at the fuel? I put a question mark here because of the situation in Iran and so forth, because supposedly the rates went up, right?
Now, this is gasoline and diesel,
Gasoline, yes, no, and,
not to do with heating oil.
okay, not the oil.
Yeah. Heating oil's
Right.
locked in.
Okay,
But this isn't
They'll never lock it in.
locking on,
No,
so
it's too
nothing
low.
we can do.
No.
No, and I think Jan was thinking
right,
heating oil
yeah, right.
because of the new crisis.
No, I was thinking of that, but you're right.
No, it's too volatile.
Yeah, that nobody, you can't find anybody that'll lock it in.
I didn't find anything in the rest.
Page 3, top sentence. Chairman Hepler stated that there is a lengthy trail
Is it a posting trail?
posting
When
on the
somebody
transfer
posts-
station.
I call it a trail, but that was.
I didn't know. I just
Oh,
thought, take
under
it
the-
out.
Under page 3.
Lengthy
Under the
post on the
Facebook.
transfer station being closed, take trail out, but do
No,
whatever.
yeah, I
have it in
take
there.
trail out, it's fine, yeah. Lengthy post on the Facebook site.
Right, that's all.
Okay.
I would just clarify it was on the Facebook site.
Okay,
It is, because it states it here.
Right.
Facebook.
Okay, yep.
yeah.
Okay, yep,
Okay,
that's fine.
That's all I saw.
All right, well, we gotta move to approve as amended. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
12:16,
The only question I had, nothing on 1.
okay, nothing on 1. Page 2?
2, was it?
2,500, is it 2,500 for the purchasing policy?
It wasn't
I believe it was 25.
2,500.
5,000, was it?
No.
Yeah, it
It's
says
on the bottom of page 2,
5,000.
the last sentence.
I believe it was brought up to
Let me
2,500.
get there.
I thought it was 2,500.
Yeah,
To the formal bid is 5,000.
Yeah.
To
Yeah, we
quote,
left that alone.
you left everything alone, just dropped the 1,000.
Yeah,
So
to
do I
20
have it?
Okay.
Do I have it?
to 2,500.
There we go. I must have known you were gonna ask a question. Let's see, purchases between 2,500 and 5,000. The department head shall contact as many vendors as necessary to have 3 written quotes, $5,001 or above. It has to have a competitive procurement guideline.
So should this say anything between 2,500 and 5,000? Or it doesn't?
Well, just, it says anything over 5,000 has to go out to bid, because you can do quotes
Oh,
on the other. Over 5,000 has to go out to sealed bid.
all right.
oh, to a formal
Okay.
bid,
I just
okay.
double checked because I wasn't sure. All right,
Anything
and page
over-
3. First paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th line up, it says, how to you come up, instead of how do you come up? I believe that's what you want to say.
Yeah, I believe we do.
How do you, yeah.
We do, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to. Tongue twister there. I haven't seen anything else.
Nope. I didn't even.
All right, all set?
Yep.
All set? Move to approve the December 16th as amended? All in favor?
Aye.
Manifest, that's me.
Yeah, I didn't get a copy, so,
I did.
all right, thank you.
That's the only thing I got over here.
Somebody must have taken it.
It's a lengthy one, because we were out obviously last week due to the storm, and then we had
Christmas off.
Christmas off, and then the 2 years, et cetera, so give me a few minutes.
Christmas.
To order the treasurer to sign payroll and accounts payable checks dated January 9th, 2020 as included in the following manifest. Payroll manifest $75,115.59 for weekly payroll. The 2019 accounts payable manifest of $80,283.21. The 2020 accounts payable manifest of $505,203, which that includes the upfront for our insurance, right, Primex? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it's so big? Okay.
Yep.
And a supplemental payroll manifest of $3,586.80 for a total of $664,188.60. The following manifests were previously ordered to be signed at the December 16th meeting of the Board of Selectmen, and as well as approved by signatures December 30th, 2019, which was the storm. This check's dated 12/26. Payroll manifest $66,685.03. Accounts payable $63,030.18. Fire department accounts payable $12,815.10. For checks dated 1/2 of 2020. Payroll manifest $63,459.73. 2019 accounts payable manifest $18,654.17. 2020 accounts payable manifest $127,604.13. Where school district $300,000, John Stark $250,000. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank God.
There wasn't a total on that though, huh?
Not on the other one, no.
Is it got 3 signatures on everything?
As far as I can see.
Thank you. Is it my turn?
It is. I don't have your report,
Well,
so
right here.
I'll listen.
I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, okay. You have them. Okay.
So we'll take, all right, is this confusing? Take one set. Just
Oh,
take one
gee.
set.
Oh, God, it's too much.
It's too much for at this hour of the
Can't
night.
handle this sometimes.
Before we get started on that, can I have a couple, before I go down through my report, I like to do it before then after. Before, then after, prior to. So, I gave you the auction numbers before. Again,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's already been screwed up.
Oh, I already got screwed up.
I thought,
I thought yeah.
so I put packages like
You
this.
put
and like this and
packages
like this.
together, okay. Take one, I'd say.
Take one package, there
Yep.
you
And
go.
There you
pass on the
go.
rest.
All right.
We're cooking with gas now. There you go.
I'm tired.
I thought you screwed it.
All right, I gave you,
I haven't had these lately.
so I gave you the number of 177,000 before.
Which one are we on? Are we on your report? or
No,
are we on
I'm
the,
off the report at the moment. I'm off
Okay,
the
good.
rails.
right.
So,
Welcome my world.
yeah, so just to clarify, I have an email from, as you know, we went to court. We haven't got an answer yet. So with that being said, the buyer would like to back out. So Laura sent me an email and said that the buyer's decided that he doesn't want to purchase the property. Would you please ask the board at its next meeting to consider returning the deposit? I would recommend doing so in this instance where we actually are not permitted to sell it until the injunction's lifted. So, I did make another phone call today because I wanted to make sure we could do it, or was there a fee for the auctioneers? So the auctioneers are not gonna charge us any fee. So with your approval, I'll send him back his cashier's check,
It's fine.
and we'll work on getting that fixed for the following year.
It's fine.
Is this
So-
77?
Yes, on Dustin Tavern. So,
And-
she'd like the board to consider, so I guess you have to make a motion to return the deposit,
So moved.
because we did it at a meeting.
Yeah.
It's already in
Second.
minutes.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Still nobody inhabiting, is there?
Is there
Oh,
anybody?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Put everything on hold.
because of the court thing.
I thought he was served to
Yeah, but
be
he got an
removed.
You're gonna have to go to the next step, you're gonna have to spend some more money. You're gonna have to,
Once the injunction is lifted, if it's in our favor, either it's gonna activate the
Yeah,
Depends on what the judge decides, but it could activate the eviction process again, so he's gotta get out, or we have to refile again. It depends on what the judge decides.
so,
Cross that bridge.
okay.
But at least,
Then, so, a couple things I'd like, back to, so we put out an RFP for IT.
Yep.
We've had, so I put together this nice RFP, based on what we have, and it was sent out to those that had requested service. It was posted in, I got back Umbral Technologies. So what I did is I did it for 2 years. Umbral Technologies is the gentleman that does it for us now. He is $1374.90 a month, and that's going to be consistent for 2 years. I got another quote from RTM Community.
So that was 1,300 a month.
It's $1374.90
A month.
a month,
Okay.
and I'm going to give you each month because they broke it out by month.
Okay.
Then I got one from RT Communications out of Bedford, quoting the same RFP for $2,400 a month. Same stuff. Then I got Granite State Communications here in Ware, and they proposed, I should have highlighted this, sorry. I think it's $37.50 a month.
Holy crap.
Wait one sec. $31.50 a month. $3,150 a month.
Okay. No.
So I would like you to go with the Umbral Technologies, which is exactly what we've been charged.
Right.
It's exactly going forward for 2 years. The price isn't gonna change. It's what's in the proposed and the default, because that's what's there.
So moved. Is there a second?
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, wait one sec. You gotta have the chairman, somebody's gotta authorize the chair.
make a
to sign
motion,
it.
I authorize the chairman to sign the contract.
Is there a second?
with
Second.
Umbral.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
And then would you initial each page?
That's what I'm working on right now.
Thank you. Sorry, I just have to make notes for the lady that does my minutes.
Yeah, her.
Thank you. Takes care of one. And also, Chris and I talked about the prosecutor agreement. Again, there's no increase, done for 12 months. But there needs to be no motion, there's no increase, the rate would stay the same. I had, the date says December 30th, but we weren't here, so. Again, that's been proposed in default because nothing's increasing.
Is the
Do we need a
prosecutor,
motion or just?
Has
is
the,
that all he does is the stuff for?
She?
She does for the Ware? She does it just for Ware?
Yes.
That's just, or the contract for what she does for Ware, yes.
Okay.
she does do other, I'm sure.
I read an article here in the last month, I think it was Concord Monitor, but don't quote me on that, that said that what some towns are doing, they're getting one prosecutor and they're looking at
We looked at that.
2 or 3 towns.
It's just, it's a lot of.
They do it in Merrimack County, that they contract with the county attorney's office, they offer them, and it's like, depends on the town, say for instance, $8,000 per town to do their prosecution in district court for certain cases, but that's it's the only county I know that offered it.
We
at the
actually
time.
looked at that this fall, Chris and I did. We tried to get to go in and do that, but they backed out
Which,
with Gossap and Gossap.
yeah,
Yeah, it just, they're short of help, just like Chris is.
And I think the other thing that was in that article was that some of the stuff for, speeding at 6 miles over the speed limit and stuff, so then they were dropping a lot of that stuff because it took them so much time to go through the court system.
go to trial.
Yeah, I
Well, they
know.
have pre-trial.
So this,
trial,
what I'm gonna hand you down is It's just a warranty for the furnace at the Southware station.
Okay.
What they've done is, it says, please find 2 copies of the extended warranty for the furnace. Please sign one and return it to our office and keep a second one. Please note that the yearly maintenance is required, which they're going to send us a reminder for yearly maintenance. I've already spoken with her.
Who put that in?
A.J. LeBlanc Heating and Air Conditioning. So there's 2 here. Let's see. So there's if you don't mind, authorization to have the chair sign the extended warranty.
So moved.
There a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
You're abstaining, obviously.
Why are the lights on continually at Southware?
They're on every morning when I go through.
They're
On every
20
night.
They're on
They're on
24/7.
24/7.
Why can't we have those
Why are they?
turned off?
You have to discuss that with the Board of Firewoods.
I mean, they're not on.
Was there a
in other
decision made at
fire
a public
stations.
meeting or for that? Or is it a,
The door operator was replaced for the ambulance door, which is the one closest to the road, and the lights have been on ever since. And that used to be run via a timer and a relay,
okay.
via that switch.
Well, they could put a motion sensor in there,
motion
so if somebody
detector or
comes in, the
something.
door, the lights automatically go on. Seems kind of crazy to have it just running, burning electricity down there.
And the other, I have one more, but it's kind of twofold. There's a, Civic Plus is the people that do, it used to be Virtual Town Hall, does our, website. And so there's a sub-site agreement for the police department, and then there's the regular, service agreement for us, for the town of Ware.
Who's this again?
Civic Plus used to be Virtual Town Hall.
Okay.
So Chris was gonna go off on his own and do a different website, but he's gonna have a sub-website of ours, which we have PO'd and that's process has started. $3,500 to do it, and he'll be part of ours. So instead of having 2 separate ones.
So that's our vendor?
So this is our vendor that does it. Used to be Virtual Town Hall, but was bought out by Civic Plus. So that would require an authorization. That's the Ware Police sub-site. And this is for our site, which is our town site. Again, it's for the town website. Same company, it's just a sub-site and
Make a motion, the chairman be authorized to sign the 2 contracts for Civic Plus for the website, for the town website, and for the police department site.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I'm gonna be a no vote. No, I am. No vote.
Abstain.
No, it's a no, not an abstention.
You're a no?
I'm a no.
Okay. All right, now I can get to the papers that I gave you, I think. Yes. Excuse me. All right, we'll start, I guess, with, let's start with the buildings. I know, I think I try to start the same way each time, but I can't remember sometimes. Thank you. All right, so on the government building ones, I've kind of given you the town hall. We've already created that number, the town hall list. I will get a second quote from the gentleman that's gonna, from Tim that's gonna
Yep.
look. He also does
Okay.
glazing of windows, so see where we are. But we've generated that warrant article number. I haven't done anything with Gordon Brown Buildings as far as getting a price. The second one, like I said, number 4, I haven't done anything with 3. 4, Tim, it's supposed to be this week, also for the glazing and the painting. Town Hall, we talked about the Irving, Town Office, we talked about holding on that one for a year. I didn't reach out for the sign today, I completely forgot, and I was over there today and took down the letters, because I was asked to, that was on there. So I really don't know, but I will follow up. Unfortunately, it's gonna, after walking around over there and taking down the letters, I think we're gonna have to wait till spring.
Yeah.
It's awfully cold and it's awfully slippery over there, you wanna be careful.
Yeah, it's fine.
The letter is, I got an email on Saturday, I think this letter got forgot, but it should have gone out today, on the East Road Gate.
Okay.
That was open yesterday.
To my knowledge, I haven't heard it's been staying open, so I don't know if it's just somebody's caught some air to that.
It definitely was open. I looked
Yeah,
yesterday.
I've heard that it's been open, so. Then the air conditioners, I also went over today. I haven't done anything with paint, obviously it's not that time of year, so. That's all I have on the government buildings. So then if you go to the admin part, let's see. I did follow up and I got sent some information regarding the master plan, which was also that age-friendly. Mike was the chairperson and kind of going and running with that. I honestly, there's a couple of attachments to an email that I didn't get a chance to read from Southern New Hampshire to see where we are. And I don't know who else has taken the lead, but I know there was some stuff being started maybe, or looked at more along the age-friendly. Now that we have finished the collective bargaining, we can go back and make sure that they all match the personnel policy, because there was some agreements to some things that now that we'd like them to match. Because typically, if they don't fall under this, they fall under that, and it's kind of awkward when they don't both read the same, so. I meant to do this today, I didn't do that as of the first, I was trying to do it quarterly for the e-subscribers. And I apologize, I never hit save and send so the agenda didn't get put on the website. I was called today and I'm like, what are you talking about? So what also is in your package is gonna go to number 8. So if you remember, Jack was at Canaan.
Yes.
So Jack had presented this Class 6 highway private road policy that he got from the town of Canaan and shared it with the planning board. And the planning board, to my knowledge, liked it because Kelly retyped it for Ware and made a few little tweaks. So what I'd like you to do is, I'd like you to take a look at this, see if it's something that you want to adopt. Kind of following what we talked about before. I honestly haven't read it, I just want to share it with you. So go ahead, Jack.
What the thing is gonna do is take out a lot of the issues with Class 6 roads, and the town of Canaan adopted one and reviewed it. And actually, it was Craig got it and passed it along to Chip, and for Chip to look at, and Chip passed it along to me. And then when Chip left, I get stuck carrying the ball, I guess you could say. But we went over it, and it pretty much takes everything right out of it, and this is gonna be part of the building permit process, that if you come in for it, you get the checklist, and this is what you have to follow. And so there's no gray area, or I guess, or any questions as to what's expected as far as, doing stuff on a Class 6 road or a private road, as far as
We don't do any maintenance.
no. And in that, there's been a big discussion on the Public Works Network as of the past, you get that, past 3 weeks, 2 weeks, about Class 6 and private roads. And no, the only thing that any of them said is that if in emergency, to get emergency equipment up there, then, yeah, okay, that's one thing for the highway department, but to
To maintain it on a regular basis.
You cannot, and there's the statute prohibits it. There's statutes.
I'm not
governing it.
asking you for anything tonight, I just want you to take it
Yeah,
and
take
digest
it
it a little
and
bit.
look at it,
and see.
okay, yeah.
So it'll stay on here. The 2020 proposed budget warrant article, you guys, I put in your mailbox, the public hearing that's posted.
Yeah, on the 20th.
It's for the 20th at 7.
Yeah.
Deliberative session, I've always reminded you, February 8th, 2020.
Have we got a new, budget, have we got a new paperwork for that? 'Cause that was.
Next week.
Yeah, next week.
Okay.
So the 14th is the last day for petition as well. So what we're gonna look at, that's why I want to kind of fill in the blanks without wasting another 7 sheets of paper, is we had some blanks left. So I'll fill in the blanks now, because Kelly also gave me, there's 3 zoning articles, and those will be approved Thursday night, and so I'll have those. The only thing you won't have next Monday is any petitions that come in by close of day on Tuesday, which would then be added to the bottom. Those will always go on the bottom. And those would then go to the public hearing the way we have them. But the numbers would all be filled in at that point, other than, actually, the 13th, I'll give you a draft for the 13th, because I would have the approval from Thursday. I would have what we did tonight. And then, I don't know, we can go back down through and make sure it's what you want to do. Then I can add any petitions that we get to that for the 20th. So, radio communication, I think we talked about earlier on, about the whole revamping in the radio site in Goffstown, and then the assessment, which I think we solved tonight, but I think it's gonna be a bigger picture later on.
Oh, I think you're right.
And then 12, Ricky, this is where you asked me to put it.
Yep.
Okay. And then we completed negotiations on Friday.
The start time for the meetings. I'll be starting a new job first week of February, and 6 o'clock will not be. I will not be able to make 6 o'clock at all. 6:30 will still be tight. So I mean, we can do non-publics at 6:30 if like tonight we had a half hour early, but it will be very tight for me to get here for 6:30. So, but I was wondering if we could, again, the start time, actual start time, be 7 o'clock again. And we can have non-publics at 6:30, or we can start the meetings at 6:30, as now, but instead of having non-publics at 6, have them at 6:30 and push the meeting start time back to 7 o'clock. It's entirely up to you guys, but I will not be able to make the 6 o'clocks.
Well,
Yeah, I
6:30
think-
too tight?
6:30?
No, 6:30 is fine, but if we have a non-public, everything would have to start at 6:30.
Yeah,
As far as
so
I'm
that's fine. I
all right.
think
Not
pushing
7.
back to 7.
No, yeah, and meeting starts at 7 if we have a non-public, but,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
6:30?
6:30?
Yeah, 6:30 is fine with me.
Yeah, so that's
And
what,
bi-weekly after.
so that's what time we start now,
I only added
normally.
the other half, right. I only
Right.
added the other half because we talked
It's-
about
yeah, that's-
after town meeting.
Right,
After
yeah.
town meeting.
So,
No problem with that.
yeah, and as long as we don't have, if we have business that's gonna carry over from a
Well,
week, then
we've
we
done-
meet
we've
it.
done that.
Then we meet it, but if we don't have anything pressing, I don't see
We
why
did
we
that in the
can't.
summer, so
That's
that's,
fine.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if we can forecast a topic, that's all. And I don't want to put any, if we have a citizen coming in for something, I don't want to put
Yep,
them off
no.
either, so. But, okay.
The one thing I didn't put on here, and I completely forgot, is I'd like to, 2020 is just starting, and I think we've got a lot of people that want to run in here and rent the town hall for 12 months.
I know.
So what I did is I kind of put a stop for it, and we've kind of filled out January, but I think we really need to look at different things, and I meant to send it to you. What I'll do is I'll scan it and send it to you. The fee schedule,
we talked about upping it the first of the year.
well, no, we talked about upping at the first of the year, which is fine, but there's other things,
That sign stuff, that getting signed up for 6 months out of whack ahead. So other groups in town can't use it. It's always the same people.
well, typically it goes hand in hand. If you're renting the town hall, you get first dibs on the sign.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of other things that, you have to just see the list. Like, there's nobody on it right now.
Right.
But I did take the sign down today. I think they're gonna start using it for the advertisement for the primary.
Yeah.
because people don't seem to understand that the primary is February 11th. So where no one's using it right now, we
Yep.
can use it for that.
Yeah.
But there needs to be some priority, I think, with how you use it, who uses it, and there needs to be some way and a mechanism so that if we have a town function, we could just, I don't want to say bump them, but, give up a side or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Most of the time, honestly, it has been good.
Yeah.
At the same time, if you're renting the town hall and we have to advertise something, that's kind of, but then, what is nonprofit? If
Yep.
you're charging a fee, it's not to me nonprofit. But also, if it's working for the community of the town, and what I don't want to, right now, the senior exercise uses a couple days, there's yoga there.
Yeah.
The yoga instructor, those are things that you pay for. So it's not nonprofit, but at the same time, I don't want to see the
Kind of a
seniors not be
service.
able to pay to go to exercise. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yes.
So it's a kind of an edge we have to walk.
Yeah.
There's Cub Scouts, there's Boy Scouts, there's football organizations, there's WAC, there's a lot of them that occasionally will use it to meet. The Snowmobile Club does. So are you charging $40 for those nonprofits where it's a community organization? There's all these sorts of things that I think we need to iron
I
out.
know,
So it's kind of loosely written. So what I'll do is I will copy both sides. Right now, we're not filling beyond January. I think if we can just talk about it either next week. And, some of the organizations, they want to come in and listen, which is fine. They're welcome to come in and listen. But at the same time, tying it up, there's
Yeah.
certain things that we know are scheduled for.
Yeah.
The rabies clinic is scheduled and all these other things are scheduled, so. But it's just, the town hall, we really need to look at it, because you don't even buy your fuel.
Pay
You're
the
not
light,
buying
well,
that.
they pay the light bill when somebody leaves the lights on all night. I mean,
And
nobody,
people have done that.
all weekend.
Yeah, and I think that we should look at implementing, for a meeting, I don't feel as strongly about it, but when there's an event there, more so the birthday parties or the other things that tend to leave the confetti and the frosting and everything
Showers
else on
and-
the floor,
Yeah.
is a cleaning fee. For the
Well, I
meeting
thought that was gonna be part of the.
for the meeting that you stretch out 8
Deposit.
chairs, that you're only gonna meet 20 minutes, sometimes Snowmobile Club's met over there, because the library is very busy.
Yeah.
Library's really where we like to meet, because it's more cozy. But when you stretch out 12 chairs for a meeting, and you leave the heat at 60, it's a while to heat up. That's the other thing,
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of things we should really look at, but what I'll do is I'll scan it and email it to you all.
Yep.
And then we can just look at it, and then I'll make you a hard copy for here.
Okay.
Oh, good.
And I think I've reached my conclusion tonight.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Okay. Any correspondence, other business?
I had someone ask me a question about property next to the South Ware Fire Station.
Yes.
And they're gonna be building down there?
Yeah.
Well, the person that called used to own the property, and they told me that they were denied because of wetland and,
Depending on what they're gonna do, this gentleman that's been before the planning board and is not encroaching, he's got approval. It's not been,
Yeah.
he doesn't encroach on the wetland, so.
yeah, I don't know, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
they were told they couldn't build
Yeah,
anything.
I think the original plan is because they were gonna encroach upon the wetlands, if I remember right in the
I
full
don't-
packet that
I
was
can't
brought up
tell you.
before the planning.
They didn't
board.
go into, they just asked me, I said, you need to go to the planning board,
Yep, the
because
guys,
I don't have those answers.
it's already, it already got approved, it
Yeah.
went through all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, if he's got all the setbacks, and, maybe he's building a smaller building than the other guy was
Yeah,
building.
I don't know.
I know, I don't know.
They didn't go into it, I just said, if you wanna know, you need to go to the planning
Yep.
board meeting.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yep,
That's probably on YouTube.
yeah,
Should be,
Planning
Should be.
board meetings are better on YouTube.
yeah.
should
Yeah,
be.
because he went for site plan, I think
Oh,
he
he's
was on there a
been, he's
couple
been
times.
before the, planning
Yeah.
board, like 4 or 5 times since summer. Finally got it approved and he's down there doing the work.
Yeah,
Anything else?
no, I have nothing.
Okay,
And we're all set, then I don't need anything else.
okay. Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have a wonderful
Good
night.
night.
Thank you for
Maybe.
canceling the meeting.